In this video, we are going to go through the setup process and a few of the features of the Catfish VanConnect 5G Plus. After you've installed the SIM card in the VanConnect 5G Plus and you've turned the unit on, the first thing we will need to do is to connect to the correct Wi-Fi network. So in your list of available Wi-Fis, you will see a Wi-Fi network show up with the name VanConnect dash and then 4 letters or numbers. These are unique to your unit. We connect to the unit and the default password is 12345678 9. And we can change that, which is what we're going to do through this setup. So now you can see we are connected, secured to the VanConnect network. And then in a web browser, you can use Google Chrome, Safari, Microsoft Edge. What we are going to do is in the address bar, we are going to type in 10.0.0.1. Now it's important to put that in the address bar, not in the search bar, because in the search bar, it will search the internet for that sequence, which is not what we want. We want to actually log in to the VanConnect, which needs those numbers in the address bar. And then we get the wizard, welcome. So we'll hit start. And this is where we can set up the Wi-Fi. So the Wi-Fi name at the moment is VanConnect-1E01. We can change this to anything you would like your Wi-Fi network to be. Next is security. Standard, it is set to WPA, WPA2, PSK. You can also select WPA3. WPA3 is a newer security. It adds some extra features and it is more secure. However, not all devices are compatible with WPA3, like some of the smart TVs in caravans and older laptops do not use WPA3. So we recommend leaving it at WPA2, only change it to WPA3 if you really need to. Next are the Wi-Fi password and system password. And if I click on the little I, you can see that currently they are both set as 12345678 9. The Wi-Fi password is the password you would use to connect to the Wi-Fi network. The system password is the password you would use to log in to the VanConnect after you've connected to the Wi-Fi. If you want to change that, you can change that to anything that you would like, as long as it is 8 characters or longer. So for instance, I can change it to Catfish ! I can set the system password the same as the Wi-Fi password and then simply hit done. Now what will happen is the VanConnect will restart, but it will restart with the new configurations that we've loaded onto the device. That also means that the unit will be disconnected, our computer or phone or tablet, whatever you're using, will be disconnected from the Wi-Fi because we've just changed the password and potentially you've also changed the name. So we wait for the configuration to complete, and then it'll say now to reconnect to our Wi-Fi. These are the Wi-Fi names, those are the Wi-Fi passwords, and you can see here my laptop has disconnected. That is because it no longer understands the password to this. So if I now go connect, it will say enter the password because we've changed the password. So I type in the password that I've just used, which was in this case Catfish ! And now I'm connected to the Wi-Fi again. So now your Wi-Fi is set up and ready to go. We can refresh the page. If you've closed your web browser, you can just go back to 10.0.0.1 in the address bar. And that now takes us to the login page for our unit. Again, we've changed the password here, so I will type in the password that we've changed it to, which was Catfish ! If you haven't changed this, the default password is 12345678 9. Log into the unit, and we are now on to the overview page. few things that we can see on the overview page is we can see if the internet is currently up and running. It will say up, and it will say what it's using, being either new radio 5G, 4G, or if you're using a Starlink integration kit, it will have WAN, meaning it's getting internet through Starlink. It has some information on the product itself, the firmware version, how long the system's been running for, and then has some information as to the 4G and 5G system that we're using. Now, there's a few setup and a few features that I would like to go through as well. The first is if we go to the 5G LTE, so LTE is another word for 4G. One of the things that we can do is SIM card selection. The unit has got 2 SIM card slots. Default, it's set to manual and SIM slot 1. You can also change this. So if you've got 2 SIM cards in it, but you also always want to force which one it's using, let's say you have a Telstra card and an Optus card, you can have the primary card in SIM slot 1 and then manually whenever you want to change it to SIM slot 2. You can also set this to auto, and auto will mean that it will listen to both SIM cards and use the one that has the better signal. Another feature that I want to go through is the APN. APN stands for access point name, which is a setting that is used by all carriers, Telstra, Optus, Vodafone, all of them. I recommend going in here and selecting the correct APN for the SIM card that you're using. If you're using a Telstra card, either a prepaid or a bundle SIM that's linked to your phone plan, Telstra 1 will be what you're after, Telstra.WAP. If you're using a business Telstra SIM card, it is the Telstra 2 option, and then we also have them for Optus, the standard and the business, Vodafone and wholesale networks. Wholesale networks are, for instance, Woolworths, Aldi, those sorts of cards. So I have a Telstra SIM card in this one. We will use Telstra.WAP. Simply select that, save, and that is done. And that is really the only setting that you need to do after you've configured the wizard with your Wi-Fi name and password. A few other features to go through is network load setting. This is if we have 4G, 5G connection as well as Starlink through an integration kit. This is where we can say what has priority. Usually Starlink has priority because you've turned Starlink on because you want to use it. Otherwise you would turn your Starlink off and save power, but you can change those settings through here as well. And another feature to go through is the 4G LTE. What is the preferred network mode? So we go to the 5G LTE section here. Under network mode, it is currently set as auto. We can also change it to force either a 5G connection or a 4G connection. Auto will means that it will try to connect to 5G as 5G is available, and if there is no 5G, it will fall back and connect to 4G. If you're in a location, for instance, where the 5G network is congested or very poor quality, you can go into this section, select 4G as the network mode, connect, hit save, and the unit will now force a 4G connection. We can see that by going either to the status menu under our 5G menu or to the home. The unit will disconnect from Telstra or whatever SIM card you were using and then would reconnect again using 4G. So here we can see the network mode is LTE. LTE is another name for 4G, and we are connected. If I would have this as auto in our location where we are currently, we would prioritize 5G, or the unit would automatically prioritize 5G. These are really the only features and settings that you would typically use. You don't have to change any of this. Like I said at the start, you can simply connect the unit, set up your Wi-Fi name and your Wi-Fi password, and then the unit is ready to go for you. No further changes or settings need to be required. These are optional things. Few other features, Wi-Fi. At the moment, Wi-Fi is set to have both the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi and the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi combined as one. You can split this, which is called band aggregation. And here you can also, if you decided that you wanted to change the Wi-Fi name, the Wi-Fi password, or your security from what you've originally set up, you can change that in this setting and simply hit save. From time to time, there might also be a firmware update. To update the firmware, we go to Advanced, and under System, you'll have a Upgrade Firmware selection where you can download the file from my website, select that file, and then complete the update. You can also restart the unit. You can restore the unit back to its factory settings, and a few other things that are possible here. You can also do a backup of your system settings. So if you've configured the unit and you want to save that configuration, you can do that through here as well as other network options, more advanced, like setting up VPNs, setting up firewall rules, and so forth. And that is the VanConnect 5G Plus unit. Any questions, please refer to our manual on the website as well, or reach out to us on contact@carfish.com.au. Thank you.